Hey everyone, it's Janine here, and today we're going to be talking about how to know when it's time to quit your job. I recently switched companies just over 6 months ago, and it was an incredibly hard decision to make. There can be a lot of risk involved, and obviously you aren't sure if you're going to like a new position or enjoy a new company if you've never worked there, so it can be a very challenging decision to make for a lot of people. There are a few things to take into account when it comes to deciding whether or not it's time to switch companies or switch jobs within your company, and I wanted to share them with you today. The first thing you want to look at when you're determining whether or not it's time to switch jobs or even switch companies is whether or not you've reached the top of your promotion ladder. If you can't move up anymore, you may start to feel discouraged, and a lot of people find that they start to not feel very fulfilled when they're going to work. The second thing that you're going to want to take into consideration is whether or not you've learned everything that you can learn in this job. After a few years in some more administrative jobs, individuals tend to find that they've learned everything that they can learn, and it is time to either move upwards or outwards and find a new job. The third thing you want to look at is whether or not you're bored in your job. If you enjoy going to work, then it can be easy to take on some of those more monotonous, boring tasks, but if you hate it every day and your job is also boring, that's a recipe for disaster. The fourth thing you want to look at is whether or not you still hold the same values as your company does. Individuals as well as companies grow and change over the years. It's important to check in and make sure that your personal values still align with the corporate objectives for the company that you work at. If not, it can be challenging to feel appreciated, and it may be time to move on. The fifth and final thing I'll talk about is whether or not you are in a toxic workplace. This isn't something that's very fun to talk about, but it is something important to talk about. With the increase in the millennial workforce, the dynamics are changing as to what's expected from a workplace culture standpoint. As a millennial myself, I know that being in a toxic workplace is not something that I want, because it's something that I found I would carry home with me at the end of the day and project onto my partner, which was not a great situation. So if you are finding yourself in a toxic workplace and you feel underappreciated and overworked, it's okay, but it's probably time to start looking for a new job, because no amount of money is ever going to make that toxic workplace go away. And even if you do end up getting a raise, you're still gonna feel miserable after a couple of weeks. If you found this video useful, please subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up. And if you have any comments or questions about a time when you knew it was time for you to move along in your career, please leave them in the comment section below.